Hey guys, it's Shadows1 and I'm here with another League of Legends 3.5 patch update. So this time it's going to be just a champion balance thing that they're doing. Again, I'll put a link in the description down below so that you guys can read the entire thing, but I'm going to go over it anyway. So they're changing a lot of stuff. Let's just go down the list. Akali. As an assassin, Akali should be champion with a high risk reward. These changes increase her early game risk while retaining her late game potential. Mark of the Assassin. Initial damage reduced to 35, 55, 75, 95, and 115 from 45, 70, 95, 120, 145. That's her Q for those of you that don't know. That seems like too much of a nerf. Although she does kind of need a nerf, but yeah. Mark detonation ability power ratio increased to 0.5 from 0.4. Not a huge deal on that. It's really not going to make a huge difference. Shadow Dance. Essence of the Shadow charge rate increased to 35, 25, 15 from 25, 20, 15. That's her ultimate. Obviously, it only has 3 ranks. What that means is earlier levels, it'll take longer for her to generate charges, but max level, it's going to be the same. It's going to be 15 seconds without CDR. Corki. Missile Barrage, which is his ultimate, now fires a big one every 3rd missile instead of every 4th missile, which to me that makes sense because you only have like 9 charges max. And yeah, this just makes a little more sense. Missile charge rate reduced to 12, 10, 8 seconds from 12 at all ranks. Alright, pretty much the first level is going to be the same recharge rate, no CDR, into that equation. Then later levels, it's going to be quicker recharge, depending on his cooldown reduction. Karma. These changes to Karma include several quality of life improvements and enhance her ability to generate multiple mantras in well-executed fights. Gather Fire. Mantra cooldown increased to 2 seconds at all levels from 1, 1.5, 2 seconds. So that's her ultimate. Alright, so it takes longer for her to get mantra, or for her to be able to get that off. Alright, not a big deal. Inner Flame. The detonation area now occurs on the actual point of the missile impact instead of at the center of the initial target that is hit. I assume that's going to make it to where if it hits like a wave of creeps, it's like if, say you're hitting a wave of creeps and you're hitting like the ranged minions or caster minions rather, and it hits the center minion, it'll be like right there on that center minion instead of just on the center minion. It's a weird thing for me to try and explain. Focused Resolve. Mana cost reduced to 70, 75, 80, 85, 90 from 70, 80, 90, 100, 110. Now applies Gathering Fire's effect on each instance of damage dealt instead of only on its initial application, but now only deals damage 3 times over its duration instead of 6. Alright, I haven't played the new Karma, so I can't say if that's good or bad. Inspire. Movement speed duration increased to 1.5 seconds from 1.25. Alright, not a whole big, that's a, almost a well-needed buff, but it's not going to affect it by a huge amount. Pretty much they fixed the tooltip where the, shield was stating it was absorbing the wrong amount. It was saying it absorbed 80, 115, 150, 185, 200, instead of an actual value of 80, 120, 160, 200, 240. Mantra bonus Defiance for Inspire. Movement speed bonus is now always 60% instead of 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 based upon Inspire's current rank. And the ally shield haste range has been increased to 700 from 600. Alright, apparently with Kayle, they want enemies to be able to see her when she's casting her beneficial stuff on her allies, so they reduced her Divine Blessing cast range by 100 from 1000 to 900. Not a huge deal on that, but her ultimate, her intervention, cast range is now 900 from 1200. That makes the world of difference, because that's almost the or attack range of Teemo or Twitch. I believe those two are the lowest attack range champions. Lux. They wanted her to be, like, from, again, I'm just reading this out to you guys. You guys can read it on your own, go back to it and whatnot. But on top of her long range and wide array of, defensive utilities, such as her shield, her light binding, and stuff like that, she just moved a little too fast. So, yeah, Lux was also among the fastest range champions of the game. These changes forced Lux to be more mindful of her timing and positioning, as opponents now have more opportunities to capitalize on her mistakes. So, base movement speed reduced to 310 from 340. Not a huge deal, but alright. Final Spark. Cooldown increased to 80, 65, 50 from 80, 60, 40. So that was her ultimate, and now first level same cooldown, second level quite a little longer cooldown, third level 10-second longer cooldown. But then again, Lux was one of those champions that you can kind of spam her ultimate anyway once you have max CDR, so it won't make a huge difference, but it'll make some difference. Morgana, her Dark Binding, which is her Q. Mana cost reduced to 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 from 60, 75, 80, 105, 120. So that's pretty good. Her Soul Shackle, which is her ultimate, mana cost reduced to 100 at all ranks instead of 100, 150, 200. Alright, that's good. She had issues with mana in the past. Now she'll hopefully won't have as much issues with mana, but she'll still have issues obviously later on. Nami, her ultimate tidal wave. Range increased to 2750 from 2500. Alright, which I believe it means it just goes a little further on the map. Cooldown reduced to 120, 110, 100 at all seconds at all rank, 120, 110, 100, 1 to rank 1, rank 2, rank 3 from 140, 120, 100. So rank 1, rank 2, rank 3. So rank 3 it's the same stuff, and yeah, you guys get the point. Mana cost reduced to 100 at all ranks instead of 100, 150, 200. So same thing like Morgana, they reduced the cooldown, or they reduced the mana cost of her ultimate rather. Nautilus, base armor increased to 19 from 15. Okay, that's good. Titan's Wrath, cooldown reduced to 22, 21, 20, 19, 18 seconds from 26, 24, 22, 20, 18. Again, that's pretty good. Nunu, Absolute Zero, which is his ultimate. Cooldown reduced to 110, 190 seconds from 150, 120, 90 seconds. So, pretty much at, earlier levels it casts, you can cast them more often, but later levels it still, last level it still casts, as frequently. Mana cost reduced to 100 from 150. So, just cast them more frequently and have more mana to do so. Not a huge deal. Quinn, Harrier. Valor now marks targets slightly more frequently, which that's good. Targets are now marked immediately, or targets are now marked more immediately when Valor lands on the target. Vault. Quinn now lands close to her target when using Vault from far away, which that helps her close the gaps and stuff like that. Not a huge deal. Urgot, Acid Spray / Noxian Corrosive Charge. Now displays Acid Hunter's lock-on range while there is a visible nearby enemy champion marked by Noxian Corrosive Charge. Which means when you have that poison on you from Urgot, or when you're Urgot and you have that poison on champions, you can actually see the range indicator on how far away they can be before that Acid Hunter is no longer a valuable option to harass them. Volibear. He's both an extremely powerful duelist as well as an almost guaranteed initiator for early skirmishes. In order to preserve his presence as a threatening fighter, these changes instead reduce Volibear's ability to force engagements early on. Rolling Thunder, which is his knockback, movement speed bonus towards enemy champions adjusted to 30, 35, 40, 45, 50% from 45 at all ranks. So earlier on, you don't get as much of a movement speed increase, but the last 2 levels you move the same and then faster than you did previously. So that's pretty good. Keeps his late game potential there, but just reducing his early game ganks just slightly so it's not as devastating and just like, oh my god, I can't do anything. You at least have time now. Items. Spirit of the Ancient Golem. New recipe. Spirit Stone plus Kindle Gem plus 450 gold. Total cost is 2,000 gold, which is a reduction from 2,300. It no longer grants 30, an extra 30 armor, but instead grants 10% cooldown reduction, which makes sense. Spirit of the Elder Lizard. New recipe is a Spirit Stone, 2 long swords, and 500 gold. Overall, it's going to cost 2,000 gold, which reduces it from 2,300 yet again. Attack damage reduced to 45 from 50. Not a big loss. Alright, 5 damage won't make a huge deal. Saris Embrace. Active mana cost reduced to 20%. Current mana from 25%. Active Shield adjusted to 20% of current mana plus 150 from 25% current mana. And Muramana toggle damage changed to physical from magical, which that's pretty good. That allows people that stack armor and stuff like that not have to worry about the magic side of Muramana. That's pretty good, and overall I like these changes. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think, and we'll go from there. Other than that, my name has been Shadowswelm. I will see you all on the battlefield, and I will talk to you all next time.